Thrissur in Kerala. How many of you have heard of this town called Thrissur in Kerala? Type D in the chat box if you've heard of Thrissur. Okay. Okay, some of you have been here as well. Great. Now, I come from this small town called Thrissur in Kerala, and I belong to a family of 3 generations of Ayurvedic doctors, right? So my dad, not exactly doctors, but then they were Vaidyas and people who used to take care of the people in the community. So I hail from that background, and I also happened to pick up Ayurveda as a choice, which was very dear to me, because my dad told me one day that, how about you take up the legacy of the family. I didn't think about it much, but then I took it up, and I was really happy that I do it today. And I also happened to meet the love of my life, Lakshmi, at college, and we have been together on this journey for the last 15 years. And it has been a great journey so far, with having great teachers and great mentors in the process, to be able to come here and be in front of you to do the work that we love doing. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank you once again for letting us letting us fulfill our purpose. Thank you so much for being here. All right, now, since I've told you a little bit about myself, let's get into the topic, shall we? Now, once again, let me ask you, there are a few more people who have turned up after we started the session. How many of you want to be 10 times more healthy? Hands up. Be in the chat box if that is you. Okay, thank you very much. Wow, I was just checking for the energy. Okay, I'll keep doing this from time to time if that's okay. Type okay in the chat box if that is okay. I keep checking your energy. Hai ki nahi? Kahan pe hai? Where is it? All right, thank you very much. Okay, let's go. Now, today is the launch day. Okay, and today is by far one of the most important days of the Gut Reset workshop, because we are here to get our fundamentals right. We are here to get our what right? What are we here for? We are here to get our fundamentals right. And would I be right if I say that fundamentals are crucial? Would I be right if I say that the fundamentals are crucial, because that is the base upon which you'll build your skyscraper of health? So that is why getting your fundamentals right becomes extremely important, and we are here to do that. Now, before I start off with the rest of the session, let me ask you once again, is my voice okay for everyone here? Type okay in the chat box. All right, thank you very much. Now, okay. Now, is it okay? We're going to spend the next 5 days together. We're going to spend the next 5 days together. Is it okay if we have a few ground rules? Is it okay? Type okay in the chat box if you're okay to a few ground rules before we start off. Okay. Now, the ground rules are these. One is that we'll start all the Q&A. We'll take up all the questions and answers from tomorrow, because we'll be giving you a link today on which you can ask a question in detail, right? And if it is relevant to the Gut Reset workshop that we're doing right now, I would pick it up and I'll be answering it during the live session tomorrow. Okay, we'll be answering during the live session tomorrow. Now, number 2 is, how many of you have already printed the workbook? Type yes. If you are yet to print, type no. There's a workbook that was shared. How many of you have already finished printing it? Type yes, otherwise print no. Okay, thank you very much for your responses. Now, whoever has printed the workbook, great. If you have not, please print it by tomorrow. Okay? Why I would ask you to print the workbook is because you'll have a physical copy. For example, everybody knows this, right? This is the Reader's Digest. You have an e-copy of this as well. You have an e-copy, but you'll never save the e-copy as much as you would save this. This Reader's Digest, you'll not save this, you'll save this book, but you'll not save the e-copy. So make sure that you're keeping the printed book, because you're going to use this for the rest of your lives as well. You might need it for reference. All right? Type okay in the chat box if that is okay. And I'm going to keep this as engaging as possible. I'm going to make sure that you are completely here with me throughout the rest of the 5 days. That is my responsibility. And in order to do that, I'll be asking you a lot more questions as well. All right? Thank you very much. Now, If you have any health concerns, you can go on this. Okay, you can go on this Instagram handle and ask me there. You can ask me there about whatever your health concerns are, and my team or me will make sure that it is answered. Okay. Now, what am I trying to say? It's not the Reader's Digest that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the workbook that you have, my friend. Okay. I'm talking about a workbook that was given in the WhatsApp group. Is that clear to everyone? There was a workbook that was shared in the WhatsApp group. Yes, in the chat box if that is true. There's a workbook that was shared, and please print that out. It will be put out once again tonight. So please print that. Okay. Now, no spamming here. Do we all agree? Type agree in the chat box if you all agree to no spamming. It was shared in the WhatsApp group, not the chat box. It was shared in the WhatsApp group. No spamming, because we are here to experience and learn. Each of us here is here to experience and learn. And for how many of you here, experience is very, very important. Type me in the chat box if for you, experience is something that's very, very important. Because we remember the best experiences in life. And I want this to be one of the best experiences for you as well. Right? For each and every one of you, I want to make sure that this is the best experience that you've had. All right. Now, superb. The workbook will be shared once again in the WhatsApp group. All right, team, I'm sure you're here. Please share that once again in the WhatsApp group so that everybody knows it. Okay, let's go. What according to you is health? I would like to start off by defining what is health according to you. I'm going to look at the chat box now. What according to you is health? What do you think is health? Health is happiness. Okay, thank you. No disease, quality of life, functioning body, physical and mental wellness. Great. Health is wealth, good gut, quality of life, freedom, social, everything. You're absolutely, each and every one of you is absolutely right. Now, we would have studied the definition of health in our school days, haven't we? How many of you remember? Raise your hands if you remember the definition of health, which is given in school. We all had that, right? We all studied for the exam. Teacher would say, study this. This is definitely going to come for the exam. So you have to make sure that this is memorized before you go into the exam hall, right? So it is said, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not just the absence of disease. Not just the absence of disease. Is it complete? Is this definition complete? If not, what is missing? Is this definition complete according to you? If not, what is missing? What do you think is missing from this definition? What part of our life is missing? What is missing, Kavya? I saw that you said a yes. Emotional, spiritual, holistic. Okay, happiness is missing. All right, happiness, focus on self is missing. Great. Money is missing. Okay, what else? Environmental is missing. Great. Gut is missing. Okay, all right. Now, a long time ago, this was about 4,000 years ago, when the books of Ayurveda were written, there was a definition that was given, which I happened to study when I went to college. And in college, teachers would make sure that we understand each and every bit of it. Would you like to hear that in Sanskrit? Anybody would like to hear that definition in Sanskrit? The definition of health, which is 4,000 years old in its original form. All right. The definition of health is this. Samadosha, samagnisha, samadhatu, malakriya, prasanna atma indriya manaha swastaha ityabhidiyade. What does it mean? What it means is samadosha, which means each and every function in your body. Each and every function in your body is to its optimum best. It's neither more nor less. Second, samagni, which means your digestive fire. For how many of you here, digestive fire is something that's very, very important. Your digestion is very important. Type me in the chat box if digestion is very important for you. Now, when our digestion is at its best, that is when we are happy as well. And some of you might already know what happens when it is either more or less. Right? So having the optimum amount of digestion is extremely important. Samadhatu means all the tissues in your body. For example, let's say muscle, okay, let's say fat, let's say skin. All these are in the right amount. It's neither less nor more. You know what happens when you have more of fat or less of fat or less of muscle? All these have to be in the right amount. Next is malakriya, which means your excreta. Your excreta, where you pass urine, you pass stool, sweat, all these are also in the right amount, neither more nor less. So, this is what every science has told us, that your body should be functioning well, your mind should be peaceful, all that is said. Now, what makes this definition about life or about health so different is that it also says that there are three things. How many things? How many things? There are three things which are very important. If you switch on your camera, show three. Three. How many things? Three things which are very, very important. And they are Prasanna Atma. What does it mean by Prasanna Atma? That your soul is happy. And when is your soul happy? Your soul is happy when you're true to your purpose. When you're absolutely aligned with what you do. You love being yourself. You love the thing that you do. You love going out. You love, you love telling people what you do. And that is when your soul is happy. If you ask me when is my soul happy, it's right now when I'm talking to you. Prasanna Atma. Second is Prasanna Indriya. Prasanna Indriya means your senses should also be happy. It should not keep searching for something new. It should not go to a point wherein if you do not get that, you feel that you're lacking something. When your senses, I'll give you a good example. Let's say you're on your phone. If you don't get enough of it, you'll feel that there is something missing. Some of us do feel that. Now, when your senses are no longer searching, that is when your senses are happy. Now, the last part is even more fascinating. Prasanna Manaha. How many of you here feel that you have somebody inside you who constantly keeps judging what you do? Me in the chat box, if that is you. There is somebody inside. Should I have this? Should I have that? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? That is your mind. When your mind is happy, is when it stops the chatter. It stops the bak, right? So when it stops the chatter, that is when your mind is truly happy. According to you, I'll repeat that thing once again. Samadosha, Samagnisha, Samadhatu, Malakriya, Prasanna Atma Indriya Manaha, Swastaha Ityabhidiyade. According to this definition, how many of you here think that health is a long way off? According to this definition, me in the chat box if that is you. Most of us would think that, right? Now, let me bring the presentation on once again. I would like to know a little bit more in detail. Okay, now this is the definition of health. Let me also figure out what is going on with you. I saw that a lot of you have posted your why. It's in Susruta Samhita, Saurabh. Somebody asked me which book is it written in. Right? This is written in a book called Susruta Samhita. Now, I'd like to understand a little bit more in detail what is going on with you, because I saw a lot of you post what is going on with you in the WhatsApp group. How many of you posted? Type me in the chat box if you posted it. In the afternoon, the group opened for a while, wherein you had posted what is exactly that brought you here. And that's very important for us to know, because we'd like to help you in the best way possible. Okay? Now let me find out, or let me realize what is exactly going on with you guys, because this is the most important, if not, it's what's the most important part of this workshop is to understand what is going on. Unexplained tiredness. Do you have unexplained tiredness? Now somebody just asked me, can I record this session? Don't worry, the session is being recorded. Okay, the session is being recorded and will be posted somewhere, so don't worry about that. How many of you here have unexplained tiredness? For some reason, you're not able to understand why you're becoming tired, or why is tiredness coming to you. Okay, how about this? Stomach concerns, that the stomach is always at a loss, or there are some part of the day where this just doesn't support you. How about this? Suddenly you feel not good for no reason. Not good for no reason. How about this? Because of everything that is happening in your life, because of not only the physical but also the psychological part of you, the mental part of you that's not going well, you feel like, this is too much for me to handle. It's extremely tough for me to handle. You know what? You're not alone. Most of the patients, I've been practicing medicine for the last 11 years, and I've seen a lot of patients, not only me, but from the time when my grandfather was practicing as well. So I've seen people come there and share all these things, that they're confused. Like me in the chat box, if you're able to relate to this, that you're confused, you don't know what to do. You're uncertain what are the things that are going to help you. There is so much going on that you're unable to understand. One of the worst part is that when you get your blood tests done, how many of you recently got your blood test done and found out that there is not much wrong with you? Recently you got it done and there's nothing much wrong with you, but still you are able to see all these things happening in your life. Me in the chat box. The tests are almost okay, but the symptoms are not proportionate to that. Okay, all right, great. And now when you go to the doctor would say, "Kuch nahi, sab dimag mein hai." It's all in your brain. It's not in your body, but it's all in your brain. You're probably making it up. This happens to a lot of us. Now, most of the patients that came to me did not, I'm saying no, did not have most of these problems that we see today. Did not have most of these problems that we see today. Did not have any lifestyle disorders. Do you know what the problem was? Anybody here? What was the problem? What do you think was the problem? Most of you don't have this, but what is going on? Stress, gut, high cholesterol, all these things. What is going on? Psychological distress, lot of stress, lack of knowledge, fear, anxiety of future. Okay, how many of you here either go out every day on the road or you travel to work and all those things happen? How many of you do that? Type me in the chat box if that is you. I'm going to give you the reason why this is happening to you, okay? I'm going to give you the reason. Okay. Now, the problem is with our focus. How many of you have seen that as you go out, there are big hoardings or posters saying that you have this problem, go to this place? How many of you have seen that? Type me in the chat box if that is you. Do you have this problem? You need to go to this place. How many of you have seen that? Hospitals are coming up with even bigger boards so that nobody misses it on the freeway. Now, if you are constantly going to see this, isn't there a fair chance that you might believe that you have it too? Isn't there a fair chance? The problem is not with the world or with you. The problem is with your focus. Wherever your focus goes, your life will follow. How many of you agree to this? Type agree in the chat box if you agree to this. That wherever your focus goes, your life will follow. From WhatsApp messages to Facebook posts to big hoardings to people calling you and telling you what is going on. All these are going to shift our focus. Open page number 2. What do you think you become? Exactly. Open page number 2 and write this down. That your focus, okay? Your focus is, what is your focus? Now tell me, what is your focus? Right now, what is your focus? You wrote a big why, didn't you? You wrote big whys. You wrote big whys. What were they? What were they? In the chat box. Not right now. Earlier. What did you write earlier? Weight loss, gut health, diabetes, thyroid, problems after problems after problems. Now, Would I be right if I say that it's easier to focus on one thing than on many things? Is it easier? Yes, in the chat box if you feel that. That's easier to focus on one thing than on many things. Would it be easier to focus on diseases, or is it easier to focus on your health? Is it easier to focus on your health? Now, tell me in the chat box if you are preparing yourself, or if you've already prepared yourself. I'm closing my eyes because it is something that's very close to my heart. Let me know with a yes in the chat box if you're ready to shift your focus from the big list of diseases that you can have to the one thing called health. And this has to be with a hand on your heart, wherein you say that you are going to focus not on the million diseases that you can have, but the one thing called health that is possible to be achieved here by each and every one of you. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you for all these amazing responses. Great. I want you to write this on page number 2. What is your focus? Write down on page number 2 in big block letters that your focus is your health. That your focus is going to be on your health and not a big bunch of diseases that you can have. No. Your focus is going to be on your health. Wow. Or how many of you are already feeling that your mindset is kind of shifting? There is a change in the way you're starting to think, and you really now want to focus on your health and not on diseases. Super. Thank you very much for letting me know here. Super. Great. Okay. Now let's go explore into why is this happening to you? Why is all this happening to you? Yep. Now, why did? Oh, I got a beautiful response here, and I would like to share this with everyone. Okay. Now, when I asked you, if I ask you, who do you want to become? What would be your answer? Who do you want to become? Who do you want to become? Okay. My former self, a healthy person. Who do you really want to become? Healthier, a better version. Great. I just got a response saying that I want to become Warrior by Jayanti Narayanan. Okay. Now, this is something which is called mirroring. When you really set an intention to be in the state that the other person is, you kind of become that person. That is exactly why I would ask you to be here live every day. Now, let me ask you this question. A challenge, in fact. How many of you are ready for a challenge? Ready for a challenge? I'm going to challenge you tonight. Are you ready for a challenge? There are 589 people. There were 594 people earlier. Now there are 588 people here. I am assuming, or rather, this has been my experience, that there will be about 450 people, 50 odd people on day, or even less, 400 to 450 odd people on day 5. How many of you would like to prove me wrong? That there will be each and every one of you who is present here today on day 5 as well. And you are not going to be sloppy in your commitment. How many of you commit to doing that? To being here every single day? Because what happens when you're here every single day live is that you learn a lot more than what you had initially committed to. Because there is so much that is being passed unconsciously as well. You learn a lot more unconsciously than you learn consciously. That's how children learn. That's the best way to learn. Thank you for all your commitments that I'm seeing here in the chat box. You guys are brilliant. You guys and girls are brilliant, and thank you so much for being that. Okay, thank you for your responses. Now let's explore why did this happen to you in the first place. Okay? Why did this happen to you? Now you understood that there is a problem. Good. Now you understood that the focus needs to change. Yes. Now, why did this happen to you is what we are going to explore. The reason why this is happening to you is because of the 5 elements. And these are the 5 reasons why these happen to you, which is improper food. How many of you are starting to think that yes, there are only 5 things that you need to set right? Now, whatever is going on is in these 5 elements or in these 5 areas. These are the 5 reasons why you are in the place where you are. Improper food, wrong liquids, lack of digestion, improper breathing, and also your internal and external environment. These are the 5 elements, and these are the 5 reasons why you are the way you are today. Now, I want all of you to open page number 3 because I'm going to explain each one in a little bit detail. Okay? Okay, page number 3. Open this. Reason number 1 is your food. Now, let us say that you have a great plate of meal in front of you. It's got all parts of the meal, everything that you can possibly have. Now, some part of that plate of meal that you have does not suit your body type. Let's say that it doesn't suit your body type. Would it be of any use to you? Yes or no? Would it be of any use to you? If it does not suit your body type, will it be of any use to you? No, absolutely not. It will not suit you. So it's very important that we have food which suits our body type, and that's what I'm going to discuss on day 4. Okay? That's on day 4. Great. Now, the second one is liquids. How many of you love the strawberry milkshake? Who all love the strawberry milkshake?
Type yes.
That's on day 4. C. D'Souza. That's on day 4. All right. Now,
type me.
If you somebody hates it, somebody loves it. I always get a diverse opinion on this. Okay? No dairy. Okay. Loves it. How many of you love strawberry? How many of you think that strawberry is healthy? Strawberries are healthy. Berries are healthy. Okay, good. Strawberries are healthy. Now, milk, if it is from a good source, it is given to the right person, that is also healthy. No doubt about it. Right? It's a doctor telling you that intolerance is okay, but then there is a part of you which might need it at times. Okay? There are a part of you which need it. You don't like it, that's a different thing, but there are part of you which need it at times. Now, both of them have got their own goods. Both of them have got their own goods. But if you mix them together, it's a big disaster. Because when you mix something like a sour berry into milk, it becomes a poisonous combination. So there are so many of these in our environment that we are not even aware of. So many drinks or so many liquids that we have from time to time which does not suit us, which is not good for that particular season. So the liquids go wrong in us. Now, reason number 3 is digestion. Now let's say that you have that plate of meal in front of you, which has got all the parts of the meal, which is perfect for your body type.
All the parts of the
Would it be good for you? Yes or yes? Yes in the chat box. If it suits your body type, it is good. Yes or yes? Yes. Now, what if you do not have enough digestion to digest it? Would it be of any use? Would it be of any use? No. So this factor also becomes very, very important, that you have a good amount of digestive fire as well. Now, there is a lot of attention coming towards your breathing, and the breath is also very, very important. Breath is also important. I will go into the details of the breathing on day 3. More details of the breathing on day 3, because breath is one way through which our body can energize. So breathing is also extremely important. The right way of breathing is very important. Now, reason number 5. How many of you have woken up on a certain day where you're feeling like, wow, I'm feeling really good, and your day has gone really, really good? A day where you felt like, wow, this is so good, and your day has gone really well for you. And for how many of you, opposite has happened? That you're woken up from sleep and you're like, oh my God, what is going to happen today? And it's not a great day to have. How many of you felt that? Now, this is because of, would I be right if I say that your internal environment, what you feel inside is what you manifest outside? What you feel inside is what you manifest outside. Right? Almost, right? So it's our internal environment that is so very important for us. When that internal environment is very serene, your external will also be the same. So it's very important that we take care of our internal environment, and which will automatically take care of the external. Okay, because of all these five factors, there is some activity that is happening inside you. These are the problems, or these are the reasons why it is happening. Now let us understand what is exactly happening inside you. How many of you here are procrastinators? You procrastinate at some level. Bata do, it's okay. Right now only I'll be able to see the chat, so that's okay. All right. Now, I'm not talking about the procrastinator that you are. Okay? Not talking about I saw that somebody said that I'm a procrastinator because of my health. How many of you are like that? Because of your health, you are not able to do certain things, and you have to keep it for later to do it. That your health is forcing you to become a procrastinator. I'm not talking about the procrastinator that you are right now, but I'm talking about a procrastinator that exists inside you. You have a procrastinator inside you, which is the organ that is responsible for the detox in the body. Which is the organ that is responsible for the detox in the body. All right. Great. Thank you very much. Good. Thank you very much. Thank you for letting me know. It is the liver. The liver is the initial place where the detox happens, and there is a detox center in the liver. Okay, listen to me very carefully. Whenever I say a secret, no, keep your ears like this. Okay, we all keep our ears like this. Okay, when I say something really important, we do it like this. Okay, shall we all do that? You're gonna be kids again, learning. Okay, good. Now, the detox center in the liver is just like a car wash. Okay? A car wash has set number of slots to wash cars. Now, what will happen if there are 10 slots to wash cars? 10 slot car wash is a big one, okay? And we have a big liver. Okay? Our liver is quite big. There are 10 slots to wash cars. What will happen if there are 50 cars coming in? If there are 50 cars, what do you think will happen? Let me know in the chat box. What will happen if there are 50 cars coming into the car wash that can accommodate only 10? Right? There'll be some mess or some confusion that will happen, right? Exactly. There'll be huge traffic jam outside. And this is exactly what happens inside your liver. Your liver gets more than what it can handle. And when it gets more than what it can handle, what it does is it takes the toxin, whichever has come in, and stores the toxin in fat in different parts of your body. How many of you here have a fatty liver? How many of you here have a fatty liver? Many of you might have. It's a common thing these days. 8 out of 10 ultrasound scans that if I ask somebody to do it, most of them would have it. Now, your liver starts storing fat in different parts of your body. And that fat contains the toxins, because if the toxins are let back into the system, it will damage your system. Your liver is trying to protect you. Your liver is trying to protect you by covering the toxins in fat and storing it in different parts of your body. It is because of this traffic jam this is happening.
Liquid, digestion.
This problem that you have inside you, which the liver is forced to do. How many of you are seeing that the liver does not want to do it, but it is forced to do it because of what we do to ourselves? The liver does not want to do it, but the liver is forced to store it in the form of fat in different parts of your body. Now, the reason why this is happening, at a very, very microscopic level, the reason why this is happening is because of your biochemistry. Write this down in the book if you want to. It is because of your biochemistry. There are so many chemical reactions going on inside you. There are so many chemical reactions going on inside you, and this chemical reactions, all these are called biochemistry, and it is this where the problem is. It's a very small problem. It's not a major problem, my friends. It starts off as a very, very small problem. Shall I ask you, are you able to hear an auto rickshaw going by? Just to understand if the voice is clear. Are you able to hear that? Some of you yes, some of you no. Okay. All right, good. Thank you. Now, it is all because of your, what did I say? What term did I use right now? I'm checking your memory, okay? What term did I use? It's because of your biochemistry. Type BC in the chat box if you've understood that the problem is your biochemistry. Brilliant. Thank you. It is your biochemistry and it is not your personality flaw. How many of you here have been tagged as non-productive or non-attentive in your workplace or at school? That you don't pay attention. You do not have enough energy because it's a personality flaw. You're not doing your best because you don't want to do it. It's an attitude problem that you have. You need to sort that out. How many of you have been forced to believe that? How many of you believe that these problems that you have came from either above or from your parents? That you are genetically destined to be sick. How many of you hear this from your spouses? How many of you hear this from the people that you most care about? How many of you hear this? And how many of you want to end this? That you don't want to listen, you don't want to hear this anymore. That you want to be the best version of you that you can be. You're in the right place, my friends. Because this is where the problem is. This is where it needs to end as well. What you should do, type agree. I want all of you here, whoever agrees to this statement, I want all of you to type agree if you agree that the problem is your biochemistry, and that is exactly where you're going to target. It's nowhere else but your biochemistry that you're going to target. And how do you do that? The same 5 elements that created all this mess are the same 5 elements that can take you out of this. If you know how to use it, that is exactly what we're going to learn here. If you know how to do this, that is what we're going to explain. If you know how to do this, that is where your win is. And we all are here to win our health game. Type win in the chat box if you are here to win your health game. Because once you win your health game, everything else will start becoming possible. Thank you. There's a problem that we have. Type me in the chat box honestly type me in the chat box if you felt that aren't we here to learn tips and tricks? Shouldn't he be starting with the tips and tricks? Type me in the chat box. I see a lot of me, or no. If you have not felt so, that's fine. Right? This is what happens to us every single day. This is what happens to us every single day. Why? Because you go to YouTube, you'll get lot of solutions. You get lots of solutions. But how many of you here feel that most of them do not give you what you're looking for? Most of them are not able to give you a solution. Some of them, yes, I do agree. But some of them don't. Because we forget a very, very important message. We forget a very, very important 3-step process. Because without that 3-step process, the results, they don't come by. And we all go through this. We all go through multiple doctors probably. We all go through multiple programs. We all go through a lot of things. We don't get results because we forget 3 very important things. How many of you know that? Again, if you know that, I'm going to tell important things. So we do it like this. Okay. All right. The 3 important things are does. Open page number 4 and write these down. Okay. Open page number 4 and write these down. Empty your cup. What does this mean? Empty your cup. What does it mean? Now, a long time ago, a very can we all shake ourselves up? I think it's almost 40 minutes, 50 minutes into it. Can we shake ourselves? Ooh, okay, good. Good. Oh, good. Now, a very long time ago, a very enthusiastic student went to his master, and the master was like in his Zen moment, right? He was very peaceful, with his face was like really, really peaceful, and he went to him and he said, Master, can you teach me? I would love to learn how you are being so peaceful. Can you teach me that? The master didn't reply. And the guy went ahead again. Master, will you please teach me? I'm really enthusiastic. I would love to learn. I'll do everything what you would ask me. Okay. Now, what happened is the master took a cup and he started filling the cup. Okay, the cup was in the student's hand, and the master started filling the cup. And the master filled it so much so that it started spilling. And the master said, this is exactly what is happening to you. You want to do, and you want to be, and you want to fill yourself up, and you feel that you have already filled yourself up. How are you going to learn? And this is exactly what we want to do. What each and every one of us want to do. How many of you agree to this? That it's very important to unlearn a lot of things before you can relearn. Me in the chat box if that is you. It's very important. It's actually more important to unlearn that to relearn. Because when you unlearn, you're opening yourself to a lot many things which did not exist for you before. Because you're open. So very important to empty your cup. How many of you at this moment commit to unlearning right now whatever you have learned in the past about health? Just let go of all that and be here 100%. Type 100% in the chat box if you are going to be 100% here. All right. This is so nice to see all the responses. Thank you very, very much. Super. Now, number 2 is discover the real you. When this is finished, when this part is done, that is unlearning is finished, it's also very important to discover who you truly are. Now, what do I mean by this? Would it be good if you know what is the state of your health right now? Would it be good if you know what is the state of your health, especially the state of your gut, your digestive system? What I'm going to do here is tomorrow we are going to do a very important test. Live during the call, we're going to do a very important test which is there in your workbook. Don't look at it right now. Okay? When you know exactly what is going on inside you, would I be right if I say that taking corrective measures will become much more easier? Yes, when you know what is going on with you, taking corrective measures will become very, very easy for you. And that is exactly why on day 2, we have a tool which we will do it live, which is called the Talks Quiz tool. Tomorrow, you're going to do that during the session. If you want to finish it before that, no problem, do it tonight. But tomorrow, anyway, I'll be taking you through it. All right? Now, thank you very much. Now, when you know that you have unlearned and you've also discovered what is the current state of your health, and if you are able to get the exact steps to follow, how many of you want the exact steps to follow for each and every one of your elements so that they start aligning with you? And that is exactly what we are going to do tomorrow. I'm going to tell you for each element what is the process that you need to follow, exactly what you need to follow for each element. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. When you have unlearned, when you have discovered where you stand right now, all you need to do is to take action. And because all this knowledge will be only a transaction for you, or all this is going to only be information for you, unless and until you take action. What is that you want? You want information here? How many of you are here for information? Type me in the chat box if you're here for an information. हाँ, मुझे बस बताओ क्या करना है, मैं कर लूँगा. No, you just tell me what to do, I will do it. Yes or no? How many of you are here to take action? Type action in the chat box if you're here to take action, because nothing else will liberate you other than action. All you need to do is to take action. Thank you very much for that brilliant response here in the chat box that I'm seeing. Thank you. Because if you do this well, you will be able to transform beyond your expectation. Now, why is this butterfly in black and white? How many of you just felt that the butterfly is in black and white? Type me in the chat box. You know why have I kept this in black and white? Now you know the concept, right? But you're not there yet. How many of you are feeling that you're not there yet? How many of you are feeling that you're not there yet? You're not yet there. That is why this is in black and white. Once you transform, it will become in color. It will become absolutely in color. That is why transformation is so important, because once you transform, you cannot go back. Okay. Now, thank you very much. If this process is not followed, this is what will happen. You'll be distracted. How many of you have gone through at least one of these? You have been distracted because you're not gone through that process. You're not unlearned. You're not discovered where you stand right now. You've not taken action so far. You've been distracted. You've been confused. You've been demotivated. And you've been wrongly influenced. The influence was so wrong that you're not able to take action because of that.
Action తీసుకోకపోతే we get distracted,
And
confused, demotivated.
why? Can you tell me why am I able to relate to this so much? Why am I able to relate to this so much? Why am I able to know this exactly? Can somebody tell me in the chat box? Why do you think I know this so much? You know why?
అన్ని తీసేస్తాడు.
Yes. I've also faced the same. I'm no different from you guys here. I've also gone through the same. And this was in 2000, few years ago. I'm not going to name the year anyway. So this was a few years ago. I was not even a black butterfly. Somebody said that I was a black butterfly once. No, I was not even a black butterfly. I was a black cocoon. Right? I was a big black cocoon. What happened was, I was in the city called Indore. Anybody here from Indore? I was in the city called Indore, where me and Lakshmi, both of us, were given entrusted a project which was a 20-bedded hospital, and people did not know a lot of Kerala Ayurveda there, and we were supposed to set it up. I love challenges in my life, right? And we were supposed to set it up. And we did. When we went there, I was working almost 16 hours a day. How many of you are able to relate to me right now? That working for long hours. I was slogging my day, and I would come back home to see my child sleep. She was 2 years old then. I would watch her sleep. And Lakshmi would ask me how your day was. She comes early because of the child, and I would slog there. And she would ask me how your day was the rest of the day. And I did not have any answers. She would ask me, would you like to call Achan and Amma, my parents? I would say, I don't have the energy for it. Hey, your friend had called and said to me that, you're not replying to their messages. I said, I don't have the energy for it. I also heard from the staff that you have been misbehaving with them. I said, I just don't have enough ears to listen to them. I just don't have the energy for it. How many of you are able to relate to this? That you are not being able to be your best when you know that your potential is much, much, much more. And every day I would come down. And I would feel so bad that I'm not able to give my best to my family, to my friends, to my patients, who really come with a lot of hope. And That really pained me, but I could not do anything. I was helpless. Even after being a doctor, I knew what was going on, but my brain somehow was not giving me the right signals to do it. I did not have that. Now, what happened was, one fine day morning, Lakshmi woke me up with a cup of tea, and she said to me something that shook me. She said to me, Harish, if you continue being like this, how many of you here feel that women have intuitions? Women have that they're able to know much more. I'm asking all the guys here, okay? I'm asking all the guys here. All right. Now, women have intuitions. This is exactly what happened. Lakshmi told me that I think I'm going to lose you in the next 5 years if you continue like this. You're diabetic. I was diabetic then. You're hypertensive. That is, you have BP. You do not have energy for anything. I've not been able to hug you even. Our physical relationship is in a mess. What else do you expect to happen in the next few years? I think I'm going to lose you. And this was a big hit in the tummy, in my gut. And I knew at that point that I needed to do something. And the first thing that I do is I quit my job because I was not doing justice to it. How many of you here feel that you're not doing justice to the things that you love doing? And that's exactly what I did. I quit my job. And what I did was I took my journey. I quit my job and I took my journey into yoga. I went to the Shivananda School of Yoga in Uttarkashi, high up in the Himalayas. I trained with the teachers there and I came back. When I came back, I was not the same person that came back. Though I was looking at the same Ayurveda, somehow that started giving me tips, tools, and revelations which I did not know earlier. And that is the exact same that I did. I was like this earlier. I was like this, but I was not able to do anything in my life. Everything was a big weight that I was carrying. It's not only physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. How many of you are able to relate to this? That it's not only your physical that goes, it's your mental, your emotional peace that goes with your health. And this is where you can be as well. Because if I was able to do it, I want each and every one of you to be able to do it as well. And it's a transformation that I went through. I'm very happy to say that. Right? Now, why was I able to do this? The reason why I was able to do this is because I have had the right mentor in my life. Lakshmi was the person who came in as a mentor at that point, at the point where I needed the most. And she told me the exact thing that I wanted to. And how many of you here feel that it's extremely important to have a person like that in your life? The mentor who tells you exactly what you need to hear at the right point at the right time. And how many of you here are starting to feel that this is something that you had to hear at this point? Right? Mentor in the chat box if you've just heard the right thing right now. And how many of you here feel that you would like to have me as your mentor? Right? Me in the chat box if that is you. When it comes to your health. Right. Thank you very much. This is the mentor. Okay? They don't do magic, by the way. This is the mentor. This is what a mentor is. Okay? You now is that lock. You're locked. And you, once you have a mentor, it's that key that goes in. That key that goes in. And when that happens, you unlock what you truly are. You unlock what you truly are. And this is what all a mentor does. They just, unleashes the hidden potential. Exactly. And our vision that we have through what we do today, our vision is to create 1 billion health warriors, 1 billion gut warriors. How many of you want to be a part of this 1 billion? Gut warriors are people who are able to take independent health decisions. They don't have to depend on an external system to do that for them. They know what to do and they do exactly that. Super. Thank you very much. Now, how do we do this? By making you better version of yourself. By making your future self much better than what you are today. And how do you do it? By making you healthier, by making you sharper, by making you quicker, and a lot more happy. Type happy in the chat box if you want to be that. If you want to be a lot more happy. Thank you very much. And how do you do that? Without forcing yourself. Effortlessly, this has to happen. Without forcing yourself. Without giving up on a single thing that you love. And zero willpower. You know, if you are going to use your will to get everything done, do you think everything is possible? Yes or no in the chat box. If you constantly have to force your will, is it possible? Not always. You'll not be happy doing that. This has to be to a certain level automatic. Right? Now, this is how we are going to do it, okay? Okay? This is how we are going to do it. Now, day number 1 is going to be the launch day. Day number 1 is going to be launch day today. Tomorrow is the talks day where you realize how toxic you are. Day number 3 is the GQ day or the gut quotient day where you know exactly what is going on inside you, the signs of why you feel the way you feel. How many of you want to know that? What exactly is going on inside your gut right now? That's what we're going to say on day 3. Day 4 is the diet day where I'll break down exactly what is best for you. How many of you want that? Type me in the chat box if you want that. Exactly what you need. And the day 5 is the hacks day, where whatever we have done, whatever I have done, I'm going to just reveal that. Now, also, during these live sessions, day 4 and day 5 are going to be live because I want you to be here live. How many of you commit to being here live on day 4 and day 5? Super. Now, on day 4 and day 5, also I'm going to tell you how you can make the best use of what you do. Because how many of you said earlier that you would like to have me as your mentor? Me in the chat box, if that is you. I'm going to be telling you how you can have me as your mentor. Alright? How we're going to continue this journey for you. This beautiful journey that you have took up in health. How we're going to continue this for you. And for how many of you here, it's very relevant for you to continue what you start. It's very relevant for you to continue what you start. Me in the chat box if that is you. That's important for you to continue what you start. Superb. All the days are going to be live, but day 4 and day 5 will not be having recordings. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? Very important. Thank you. I'll be doing that exactly. Alright? Thank you very much. Now, if you have any doubts or any confusions, write these numbers down. Okay? You can reach out to Ashwin, Dharani and Anisha. You can get their numbers and you can reach out to them if you have anything. If you have a medical query, if you have anything that concerns your health, please tell them that it's a health query and they will connect you with the relevant team. Is that clear? Clear in the chat box? Is that clear? We work as a team. They'll be collecting the questions that you have. But if there is something that's medical, we'd love to see how we can get to that. But remember, what is our focus, guys? What is our focus? Because if your focus has just turned towards health, diseases will not question you. And how many of you feel that today this was the most powerful thing that you learned? That our focus is going to be our health. Your focus is going to be on your health. Thank you very much. Now, all the recordings, all the links will come up here in the WhatsApp group description. Okay, you can find it there. Any recordings, any links, you'll find it here. Okay. Now tell me this. I'd like to ask you this. you want wealth in your life? I'm going to take 3 or 4 more minutes, okay? How many of you want wealth in your life? How many of you want relationships in your life? How many of you want a great career? How many of you want to become more peaceful? How many of you want to become more spiritual? To have that calling, to be connected with that calling that you have. All of you. You know what is missing in this? What is missing?
Well-being.
Because without health, none of this is possible. Without health, none of this is possible. The puzzle will only be complete once you have health. And that's extremely, extremely important. So do you commit to doing a 20-minute meditation every day? Because you address all your elements. How many of you commit to a 20-minute meditation in the morning? We'll send you a link tonight. Do the meditation first thing in the day. Do the meditation first thing in the day. You wake up, you do this. Type comment in the chat box if you commit to doing this.
A video of this.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, every day I'll be giving you a bonus. Whoever comes in gets a bonus. Tomorrow you're also going to get a bonus. Every day you come in, you get a bonus. Okay? We'll be playing a game every day at 8 a.m. How to do this will come up in the WhatsApp group. So the time would be 8 a.m. in the morning. All right. I see a lot of comments here. Brilliant. Time will be 8 a.m. in the morning. We'll play a game. Now, you also get gift vouchers for playing the game. It's not for free, right? You're also going to get gift vouchers. Whoever is able to play, please play. Okay, whoever is able to play, please play. It's just to make sure that you are having the best time of your life here. Okay. Now, I wanted to prepare a detox tea today. Not tonight, tomorrow morning. We'll send the link to how to prepare it in the group tonight. At 7 a.m., you're going to click a picture with the detox tea that you have prepared, and you're going to post a picture in the WhatsApp group. Type comment in the chat box. If you commit to doing that at 7 a.m., commit to making this at 7 a.m. I understand that some of you are in a hostel and many other places. See how you can do that. It's a very simple tea that you need to prepare with things that are available in your home. Very, very simple. Okay. Now, also you're going to share page, the focus page. You're going to post your focus page at 2 p.m. where you commit that your focus is completely going to be your health. Totally your health. Now, this is what you do. How many of you commit to doing all the tasks? Commit to doing all the tasks. Some of you are here from the US as well. So there are thanks to my friend here who was able to help their friends as well to come in for the gut reset workshop. Thank you so much, Ranjani, for bringing your tribe along. Thank you very much. And I understand that there's a time difference. So just see what is the best way you can do it. Right? Now, how many of you here commit to doing everything in the gut reset workshop? Me in the chat box if that is you. Thank you so much for all your commitments here. Have a brilliant night tonight. Sleep really well and do the meditations and everything during the day tomorrow. And I would see you tomorrow evening. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for your time, your patience, your blessings, and all that is what we carry. Thank you very much for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a very good night. Take care. Love you all. Bye-bye.